But too bright.
No, I think it's fine. It's a little crooked.
Yeah, I know.
There.
Oh.
Perfect.
Yay.
Beautiful. I was about to be like, yeah, I know, and then leave it. But I decided to not leave it this time. Oh my God. I've started doing my hair like naturally curly.
I love it.
Well, it's okay on day one.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't understand how
it's
people
weird.
do it.
Yep, same.
But I also don't want to wash my hair every day.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mine always goes up after day one.
Life is
Actually,
so
mine will
hard.
probably go up in about 30 minutes. So.
Yeah. I may have to start getting more creative with my hairstyles. Hey
guys. This is a hair podcast.
This is the Witch's Magic Murder
I
Mystery
am a
Podcast.
witch and she's magic, and we're the murder mysteries. I don't know. We're the murder mysteries.
I want that to be a shirt. We're the murder mysteries. Okay, it's gonna be a shirt for sure.
I have to.
It's not just what you said, it's also how you said it.
We're
We're
the
the
murder mysteries. Hey guys, I forgot my pants were unbuttoned.
I thought you were gonna say I forgot my pants. I'm like, what?
You sure did.
How did I just notice?
I walked across the street like this. No wonder my staff hates me today.
Keeping that in. This, darlings,
Oh gosh.
is the Witch's Magic Murder and Mystery Podcast.
I'm Kara.
I'm Megan. Hello.
I still would like to be a murder mystery.
I don't want you to be a murder mystery.
No, not that way.
That doesn't
No,
sound
not
good at
that way.
all.
No.
We'll give it 10 seconds of silence.
Well, sure.
You can tell we've recorded a lot of episodes.
I have asthma. My bronchial tubes. I'm a prehistoric creature.
Okay.
10 seconds. There's a bell under your feet. What? Oh.
Okay.
I can't.
We made it 7 seconds, but that's just gonna have to be enough.
I just slobbered all over myself. Oh my god, what is happening? What's happening? Oh gosh. 3 episodes in, guys.
This is our third episode of the day.
We
And by now we're a little bit like.
And we did a whole BetterHelp ad.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
It was great.
We're really good at it. We're really good at it.
They love us. Yeah.
BetterHelp loves us.
Okay, so if you've been on TikTok lately, there's been a lot of talk about the aliens in the ocean. And so I really wanted to do an episode about it. And the thing is, if you haven't been on TikTok, you've probably not heard anything about this.
You just
because
have
people are only
opinions
talking
on
about it on TikTok.
Mike Tyson.
Right. That's a whole other thing.
And his cheeks out.
Everybody's like, there are aliens in the ocean. It's been confirmed. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I go look at it. That's not true, guys. That's not what it is. It's not confirmed. It's just they're doing a congressional hearing and people are saying stuff. But like Marjorie Taylor Greene says all kinds of crazy stuff in her congressional hearings, and that's not true. So just because they're asking questions about it doesn't mean it's been confirmed. Now, I will say,
there's aliens in the ocean.
I mean, right. Don't go in the water. We've been telling you for years.
Yeah, like, why don't y'all listen to us?
I like how you're just like, there's aliens in the ocean.
There just is. Like, y'all don't even know.
But to say that it's been confirmed is not true. And it's frustrating
like,
when I
need
want
a selfie
confirmation.
With a water alien first.
Yeah. There's something unexplained. I imagine it's just stuff that the government is keeping secrets from us because the government always keeps secret from us. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's aliens, right?
Right. The Titanic was a sacrifice to the alien.
I'd be thrilled to see evidence that there are definitely aliens in the ocean. So as soon as that happens,
we would be right about our fears.
Oh my god.
Of the depths of the waters.
Yeah, I would. Do do you expect me to pass up an opportunity to be like, I
told you so.
I actually already did make a TikTok saying I told you so.
I really told you also. So,
but anyway, I can't tell you anything new about the aliens in the ocean.
But
and if you're mad at me for saying that it's not real, just go look it up yourself.
Give it a quick
It's not been proven yet. I am open to the possibility that it will be.
Sure, we sure are.
Not yet.
No, just give us some time.
But I do have an alien episode.
I love these. I love alien episodes.
Oh, it's a good one.
Oh, can't wait.
And I started it with Kara. I would like you to take a moment and buckle.
Buckle up, Buttercup. I love it. I can't wait.
So November 30th.
Where's my aluminum foil?
Where are our hats?
Where are our hats?
We should get those or make new ones, and then every time we do an alien episode, we should wear them.
Yes.
Oh. It's time. It's time
for an alien episode.
Nope.
I changed it up.
You can really tell. 3 episodes is our limit.
We're feeling wild.
We've lost our minds.
We are feeling weird, guys.
Okay. We are going to November 30th, 1989. Almost exactly 35 years ago.
Oh my God.
Because this episode should come out on the 29th, assuming that everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
Linda Napolitano. 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 She was abducted from her Manhattan apartment that she shared with her husband and 2 children.
Linda. Aliens in Manhattan?
It was 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's gonna be a movie now.
When she was suddenly jolted awake. It already is a movie. We'll get to that.
Oh, is it? Can't wait.
And she could feel that there was someone or something in the room that shouldn't be there.
Oh no.
She looked around, and her eyes adjusting, she saw a group of small gray figures standing over her.
I feel like I'm listening to or watching Saturday Night Live with Ryan Gosling and what's her name?
Staring at her with black eyes. I bring that up later too.
Oh God, I can't.
Get
sorry. We are the same human.
So, first off, let's take a moment and acknowledge how terrifying that would be. You wake up and you feel like there's something in there, and then there's these like
peering
small
at you,
gray
critters.
figures standing over you, staring at you with black eyes.
Huh? I would just cover back up and be like, no, this isn't happening.
Using telepathy, she was instructed to be quiet as she realized she was paralyzed and she couldn't even call out to her husband, who was sleeping right next to her.
Oh my gosh. Linda.
Then, a bright blue beam shone through the bedroom window and lifted her out of her bed and into the night sky.
Huh?
And then it
Linda.
carried her right on into a large oval-shaped spaceship.
Oh.
Where she was laid out on a table in an examination room.
Oh, Linda.
She said that once she was inside the UFO, she underwent, quote, a series of quasi-medical procedures.
Oh.
That didn't sound dirty until you just made me think of it.
Oh.
For 2 hours before being returned home. 2 hours?
2 hours? I hope some things got lifted and tucked.
Yeah.
If I was in that, I'd be like, can you fix a couple of things first?
She said there were these creatures around me and they were examining my stomach.
Oh.
And one of them came after me with a needle the length of a turkey baster.
Huh?
I didn't want to believe that I was a lab rat being experimented on, but after a while, I just couldn't deny it anymore.
Well, yeah. Linda, honey?
She claimed that years after the incident, the aliens continued to target her family and give them nosebleeds.
Ooh.
Do you want to give it 10 seconds again since that shut off? Okay.
Nosebleeds? They gave them nosebleeds.
Mm-hmm.
So they just like...
The next thing she knew, Linda woke up in her bed, her husband still asleep beside her.
Mm.
And she was like, oh, I need answers.
Yeah.
Now, she had a friend.
Okay.
His name was Bud Hopkins.
Is Bud a y'allfist, a ufologist?
Yes, actually.
Oh my gosh, Bud is?
An ufologist.
Ufologist.
Right?
Yeah. An ufologist.
He was an artist and an ufologist who now that word just like has no meaning anymore.
No.
Like I don't know. He has spent decades researching alien activity. And she already knew him, which I'll get to later.
Okay.
But with Bud, also Bud with 2 D's, just how we did Glenn with 2 N's.
Bud and Glenn.
Bud with 2 D's.
Man. I bet the aliens knew Glenn and said, we in the future are going to go after Bud's friends because he's got 2 D's and you had 2 N's, and we've taken you and you're in our spaceship now, so we're going to look for everybody with 2 double letters, 2 silent letters.
I'm just letting her go for you guys. Just go ahead. YouTube's like,
Let's care the way that she is.
Why do we love her so much?
For your all's entertainment, I promise.
Okay,
I
so
am like this all the time, though, so it's fine.
She underwent hypnosis with Bud to explore the alleged abduction.
So Bud can do hypnotisms too?
Yes.
God.
Bud is very
well-rounded. Okay.
So, and Bud ends up publishing a book about Linda's encounter titled Witnessed, the True Story of the Brooklyn Bridge Abduction, because her apartment was near the Brooklyn Bridge, in 1996. And so in that book, he tried his best to like keep everybody anonymous. Like he gave everyone in the book like fake names, you know, to try to kind of maintain people's privacy the best he could. So here's the thing. This all sounds like somebody's weird, I was totally abducted by alien story.
Right.
That could like 1,000% be a hoax.
Yeah, they're trying to get attention or something.
I'm surprised anybody even wanted to write a book about it because it's not all that detailed.
Right.
Or interesting.
I'm joking.
I'll let you do that.
It's like when you've had a cough forever and then it's like all of a sudden that tickle.
Kara's been sick for like last month.
Thanks. Horrible.
Ready?
Do it.
So, to me, she doesn't have enough details or anything to make anybody want to write a book about it. Like, there's just not enough there. But there's stuff I haven't told you yet.
Okay.
So when he initially heard her story, was also pretty skeptical until he received a letter from a pair of like security guards, bodyguard types.
Oh.
We're calling them Richard and Dan.
Okay.
He gets this letter in 1991. And they stated that on the night of November 30th, 1989, they had been parked on FDR Drive when they watched 3 alien figures and a woman in a white nightgown float out of an apartment window and into a UFO.
And they just looked at that and said, I don't know.
At the time,
calling that in.
These 2 security guards were working for a prominent world leader who was visiting New York. And that leader, according to them, had also witnessed the event.
What?
And Richard and Dan, in their letter to Bud, they were like, we just can't live with ourselves for not helping her.
How would you help?
And Bud, he gets this letter and he lets them know, hey, she's okay. She's alive and well.
Yeah.
And so then the 2 security guards, they go visit Linda in her Manhattan apartment, and they like, it was emotional, and they talked like they'd known each other for years. You are literally like everything I talk about, you're being
sorry.
No, I'm not mad. I'm just like amazed.
Whoa.
Like, what is happening?
How are we doing this?
So shortly afterward, Dan, the security guard, began stalking Linda.
Oh.
Like he was doing daily stakeouts at her apartment.
Oh, red flag. Whoa.
And in April of 1991, Richard and Dan kidnapped Linda.
What?
And they interrogated her for hours about the alien abduction. They were convinced that she knew more about the aliens that she was letting on. Before that part is where I went back to the beginning and I went, Kara, buckle up.
Yeah.
There's so much coming.
Wait,
here.
What?
Yeah. So they witnessed her abduction. Can't live with themselves not knowing if she's safe.
And now
write a letter to Bud, and then
they
find out she's safe and they kidnap her?
Yeah. If she didn't have mental health problems then, she does now.
So this is my favorite part.
Oh, God.
They suspected that Linda herself might be an alien.
Stop it.
So they had her take off her shoes and show them her toes to prove that she wasn't.
Huh?
What do alien toes look like, Kara?
I don't. Huh?
What does that mean?
Like the Kentucky Goblins, they only had like 3 toes
I
or
don't
something,
know.
didn't they?
How do you?
Or I don't remember now. But
Whatever her toes look
What?
like, how would you know?
You're like, yep,
That's definitely not.
that's
It's
an
like
alien.
people who are like, that's not a Bigfoot sound.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you
That's-
talking about? You don't know what Bigfoot sounds like.
That's a blue horn owl.
Okay, so
What?
I guess she got away,
Alien toes?
or they let her go. One or the other.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Once they believed that she was indeed human and
Mhm.
didn't know anything more about the aliens.
They're like, well, sure, go on.
But
Oh my god.
Dan was a total whack job and became more and more obsessed with Linda.
Oh no.
And in October of 1991, he kidnapped her
Again?
again
Again. Okay.
and took her to a
Dan.
beach house on Long Island.
Why, Dan?
Once there, he wanted Linda to change into a white nightgown like the one she'd been wearing
He wanted her to reenact it?
when the aliens had abducted her. And Linda refused to change in front of him. And that's when he really lost it. He attempted to have sex with her and called her his Lady of the Sand. I don't know.
Huh? What?
Linda got away again. And after that incident, she says she never saw Dan again. But he continued to write her letters in which he confessed to being in love with her and fantasized about kidnapping her.
He has an alien abduction kink now.
Oh, I mean, it's wild, right?
Just put something on the interwebs about somebody dressing up so you can be her alien abductor. I'm sure somebody will go for it.
It's 1989, Kara.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Or 1991.
I forgot about it. Leave Linda alone.
So
Put it
while
in your
she's
local
dealing with all of
newspaper.
this, Linda is also realizing that she's being followed by the Men in Black,
Oh my gosh.
the
What?
Galaxy Defenders. You know what they won't do, Kara?
What?
They won't let you remember. The good guys dress in black, Kara. Remember that. In case you're ever face to face and make contact.
Yeah.
Walk in shadow. Move in silence. Guard against extraterrestrial violence. God, it's a good song. I listened to it when I had to go look it up. In all seriousness,
Seriousness is.
in all seriousness, Linda has been through a lot.
Yeah.
And now being followed. And like, if you're being followed by the Men in Black,
Yeah.
who do you even
Call
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Because they ain't on no government list. They straight don't exist. No names and no fingerprints. You know what I'm saying? To make your neck work.
What a great episode.
I was cackling on my couch writing this. I was like, how many Men in Black lyrics can I work into this?
So many. There's so many good ones. There's
That's the
so
end of them,
many.
though, I promise.
Oh.
No more Men in Black lyrics.
I thought you meant that
They
was
ain't
the end of
on
your
no
episode. I
government
was like,
list. They
"Hi."
straight don't exist. No names and no fingerprints. Anyway, Linda was terrified.
Linda's over it. Oh man.
More and more witnesses.
For
come
her
forward.
specific abduction?
Yes.
What?
They contact Bud with their own accounts of what they saw when Linda was abducted. And these stories matched up with Linda's.
Oh my god.
There ends up being something like 20 to 23 witnesses
Oh my
to
god.
her abduction. And witnessing something like this, it messes with you.
Right?
And we can clearly tell
sure.
that Dan lost his mind, right?
Yeah.
And it was reported that he even ended up being checked into a mental health facility.
Oh.
And that important
Good for
diplomat,
Dan though.
right? That yay for recognizing that he needed help.
Yeah.
And that important diplomat who'd been with the security guards, who had
Uh-huh.
also witnessed Linda's
Uh-huh.
abduction, apparently it rattled him so much that he wrote a letter to Bud, emphasizing the importance of taking care of the planet and begging Bud to stop investigating
Oh.
so it would stop interfering with the aliens' grand plan to save the Earth.
Oh my gosh.
Even Linda said that she thought her abduction was meant to gain attention from world leaders and make them all care more about environmental sustainability on a global level.
Oh.
It was to put everything in perspective. There are aliens,
Uh-huh.
and they are here to warn us
Okay.
about taking care of the Earth.
How was turkey basters warning us about nature.
That's the thing. I don't recall.
Right.
And did not read anything about them actually saying any of that to Linda. It's just, this seems to be the reason. Okay. And Bud was like, oh my God, I bet that Linda and Dan and the diplomat are all cosmically connected. Oh. Because they had to save the world. No wonder Dan was so obsessed with Linda.
Save the cheerleaders, save the world.
Bud Hopkins died in 2011, which basically put an end to the investigation into Linda's abduction.
Oh, God.
But then.
Okay, whoa, it comes back.
Netflix,
oh man.
announced a new documentary about the case, and that just came out in October of this year.
What?
Last month. The Manhattan Alien Abduction.
Oh my God.
A 3-part docu-series that revisits what happened before and after Linda's abduction.
What?
It includes interviews with both believers and skeptics.
Okay.
Most notably, a critic named Carol Rainey.
Carol.
Who was once married to Bud Hopkins. And she initially believed Linda's story before ultimately deciding that it was made up. She, on record in the documentary says it was made up.
Oh, wow. Is Linda still living?
She died last year, 2023. So she didn't get to. She didn't live to see it come out. Okay. She spent years working to debunk Linda's story. Oh. Which sounds like such a superhero, supervillain thing.
Yes.
Can you imagine that you have told?
I'm trying to kill the earth.
You've told a
story.
To save it. You've told any story, whether it's true or false. Yeah. But there is someone in the world who is like, it is my life's work
to
call you a liar. It's just so And what if you're the person who wakes up every day and is like,
they're going down. They're going down.
It's just so intense.
Oh my gosh.
It's fascinating to me.
I mean, she became obsessed as well, but in a different way.
What I think is fascinating is, okay, whether this story is true or false. Right. Linda tells a story, and it could have just died. Yeah. Bud wrote a book. Uh-huh. But it came out in 1991. Again, could have just died. Now, I will say this. Yeah. There's been more than one movie made about this. Okay. I don't know how much Linda herself has profited from it. Oh, okay, gotcha. And maybe that was the driving reason that anyone was like, I have to prove this is wrong. Yeah. But I just think it's interesting. It seems like such a... It's like holding a grudge and how that doesn't help you. Right. You wake up every day like, this woman's lying and I've got to destroy her.
Yeah, and you literally are going to bed and waking up trying to find facts that...
Because people are going to believe it or not believe it. Especially when you're talking about aliens and UFOs. You all know this. Yeah. Even people with very credible stories. I think the Stanford alien incident that we've talked about
so
I think that one's really credible. Yeah. And there are still people who think
you either
that
believe
didn't
people
happen.
Birth rabbits or you don't.
And so just to make it your life's work to bring a person down, it's just interesting to me. But Carol, from her point of view, was like, I couldn't stomach that she watched her husband. She said that it was clear that his judgment kind of became impaired and he was just getting too caught up in the story and ignoring the evidence that would prove it wrong and only, you know what I mean?
But where's that evidence?
Well, where's the evidence that it did happen?
Right, yeah.
Because here's the thing. Let's talk about this perfect segue, by the way.
Love this, thank you.
And some of the reasons why people find Linda's story hard to believe. Because, I've just told you, gosh, there's all these witnesses, there's whatever. Yeah. The thing is, according to the articles I read, sources in the show notes, most of these witnesses refuse to identify themselves. Oh. And like I told you in Bud's book, he used fake names for everybody. So you can't track them down. So you couldn't verify their stories at all. Right. Even if you were just if you did find them and ask them to tell the story again, does it line up over time?
So George Bush didn't want to say that he was...
It's not George Bush, but I will get to who it was. We do talk about who it was, the diplomat. Also, Bud never actually met those security guards.
Oh, they
wrote letters
to him. So it could have been anybody writing letters, some crazy people that heard about the story and they were like, we saw it.
Or it could also be Carol Rainey said she worked with a forensic expert to prove the handwriting between letters from Linda and letters from the security guards were virtually identical.
Oh.
And the diplomat, who was not George Bush, he also only communicated by letter.
Oh.
So it kind of calls everything into question. And that diplomat is supposed to be the then UN Secretary General Javier Perez de Cuellar.
Yeah.
I know you're all impressed with that.
So good.
And he's been asked about this multiple times.
He's like, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah, every time he's like, no, these allegations are completely false.
Oh.
And he also doesn't verify the existence of 2 security guards at all.
Okay, wow.
Now, the argument would be...
Was he in the area at that time?
Not that they could find.
Okay.
And the argument on the other half of that would be, well, but we've said he wanted the investigation to stop so we would quit interfering with what the important work the aliens were doing.
Yeah. Huh.
Linda told Vanity Fair in 2013, quote, if I was hallucinating, then the witnesses saw my hallucination. And that sounds crazier than the whole abduction phenomenon. And I'm like, babe, I don't think anyone's saying you hallucinated.
Right, exactly.
I think they're saying that you lied.
Yeah, it doesn't, now you just made it crazy.
And that's the thing, right? It all comes down to whether or not we believe Linda is a reliable narrator.
Okay.
And for her part, it's been 35 years and she has stuck to her story. And from what I could tell, I didn't read anything about her story changing over time.
Yeah.
When people call her crazy, she's like, I wish I was crazy because there's treatment for that.
Oh.
And I'm like, girl, same.
Yeah.
I would love
to be crazy.
But there are some other issues.
Okay.
This abduction happened in November of 1989.
Right.
And I told you that she already knew Bud, like she was already in contact with Bud when this happened. That's because in April of 1989, Linda reportedly sent Bud a letter detailing a previous encounter with aliens that had taken place 13 years prior.
Oh.
During that incident, Linda dreamt that she was levitating and woke up with a nosebleed. Later, she noticed a weird lump inside her nose, so she goes to the doctor, who did an x-ray that showed that there was something stuck in her nasal passage. So then she went to a throat and nose specialist, and while the object was gone, they could see that there was a buildup of cartilage, which suggested there might have been something there recently. According to Time.com, Linda began to attend Bud's support group for people who've been abducted.
Oh.
That's what I thought about the Saturday Night Live skit.
Yes.
Because I was like, what would a meeting of people who've been abducted by aliens look like?
And that's it. That's exactly what it looked like. Listen, if it looks like Ryan Gosling sitting in a meeting,
there.
I am there.
Sign me up.
Sign
Please
me up.
Abduct me.
Yeah. Take me now.
It just makes you wonder. There's always the possibility that she was abducted multiple times. Like they got her, and then 13 years later, they come back to do follow-up.
Yeah, they said we like this specimen, and we're just gonna keep finding her.
Or the first story didn't get enough attention, so there had to be another one. I mean, that's a possibility also. Allegedly, in my opinion.
And that's what
all of this is just my opinion.
Could have possibly happened based on our evaluation of the facts provided to us.
Bud wrote in his book that at the time of the alleged abduction, Linda was married to a man named Steve, and they had 2 sons, right? Stephen and John. John is in the Manhattan Alien Abduction.
Okay.
The docu-series on Netflix, and he appears there with his mom. He goes by Johnny. They obscured his face on camera. Okay. But he said that he also saw 3 beings in the family's living room as a kid.
Oh.
And he added, I know my mom. Oh, no, wait, I'll say this. Quote, it's got to be the most terrifying and hopeless thing that I've ever felt, he said. So I was very reluctant to even start talking about this again. Oh. It's been over 30 years since I sat down and seriously talked about this to anyone but my therapist. And he added, I know my mom better than anyone else, and I will tell you right now, there's no way I believe she would want to make anything like this up. Linda is now suing Netflix, saying the docu-series defames her, paints her in an unflattering light, and steals the work of an author who first wrote about her story more than 20 years ago. The complaint seeks an undetermined amount of monetary damages for 6 claims, including fraud, defamation, and breach of covenant of good faith and fair dealing. Linda basically says that she only agreed to do the Netflix under certain conditions, and Netflix didn't I think I've skipped words. Linda basically said that she only agreed to do the thing with Netflix under certain conditions, and then Netflix didn't hold up its end of the bargain.
Oh, okay.
And I think that that's where this gets tricky. Obviously, we've been giggling through this whole episode.
Right.
Which we often do during Alien episodes.
Yeah.
Because as a society, we've been taught to discount these stories. I mean, the SNL thing exists for a reason.
Yes. Yeah. There's multiple of those.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
We've been trained to think they're wild, crazy, impossible. And then, of course, over the last few years, we have been hearing more and more, more credible accounts from more credible sources that aliens may actually truly be out there.
Yeah.
And again, Kara and I have been saying that for years.
Years.
So I think it's important to remember that we believe what the media wants us to believe.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
When it comes to this particular story, it's so wild and outlandish, especially the multiple kidnappings and all this stuff that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
she's stuck with it.
If it's true, this woman has been through hell.
Yeah.
And it continues to make her life hell. Like she had someone who dedicated their life basically to calling her a liar. And so now it's just like, is this real?
Right.
Is it not?
Yeah.
And that I think is more interesting than anything is the way that how do we know?
Right, exactly. Ooh, that's crazy.
And for Netflix, this is a way better story if it's a little controversial.
Right, exactly.
So that everybody wants to tune in and make their own judgments. If everybody just believed it, it'd still be interesting.
Yeah.
It's still aliens, but it wouldn't be as interesting.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. Linda, if you're listening, I hope you're okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like how
we made some great jokes in this episode, but I truly do hope that she's okay.
Yeah, my gosh. Mentally and physically.
I could go either way on this one.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking like I don't know.
And there's no way to know.
Yeah.
Because now we can't even say, no one can be like, and aliens definitely don't exist. You know?
Right. Yeah. And you can't go the other way either.
No. So there you go.
Huh. Wow.
Thank you all for listening.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We love you
so much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Jeez.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Aliens. Jeez.
Linda. Such an 80s name. So yeah, right?
What?
Linda. The Men in Black lyrics.
I cannot.
So good. So freaking good.